It's not the worst case scenario, it's the middle case scenario.
Yeah!
Enemy is captured. Charlie.
I got him with the RPG.
Hello and welcome to this Warno 2v2 DEFCON 2 tournament. Got two teams for you today, unsurprisingly. On the blue side, we've got Christmas Island Propaganda and MysticSalami, and their team name is WTF is a Kilometre. And they're up against Gneckes and Growhold, and their team name is KDA Kinder der Armut. Both teams playing as their respective factions. Yeah, blue for WTF is a Kilometre, although no Americans. And red for KDA, but no KDA. And we're on Tension today, a very dark map. You can put a setting to make it less dark, which the rules do specify, so nobody bothers to do it. First UK is an interesting pick. Not so sure about that one. I guess blue wants to try and win the game early. If it goes late, First UK is really going to struggle against the heavy tanks from 79Y. Looking at the deployments, Pyro Rover Milan from First UK down every road. And then, yeah, and then Second Panzergren is providing the, FS Jaeger, stuff like that. So it looks like, okay, so both players are playing both lanes, which is fair enough. So, and then, yeah, behind that, lots of Scorpions, lots of Lux. Really strong forward deployed. They're being quite conservative, given that they do have the advantage in forward deployed. Not that many units on Golf. Switching to their opponent's deployment. Kinder der Armut here. We got one fob. I was going to say, how have they pinged it already? But no, that's him pinging his own fob. And yeah, so the thing that 56Y can do is that they get all these forward deployed Descent SPG-9s and Descent Bundle of Sticks ATGMs, and they all forward deploy, so you can basically do a similar thing that all these Rover Milans are doing, and you can stop your enemies from getting in the zone by just zooming the ATGMs down every single road. But they've opted not to do that, so I think they're going to struggle a bit. But if they can make it past the early game, then they're going to bring out those grads, and they're going to grad everything, because 56Y gets grads as well. So, yeah, we got some Spetsnaz Group Stinger, Spetsnaz Group Regular. That's going here, which is really quite conservative. Probably can't really see anything because how dark this map is, but you could probably get it over here. I don't know. Yeah. And then a bunch of tanks and stuff. You know, we're not going to cover every unit, but I do see some long-range AA in there. And how many CVs, that's always useful to know. 2. And there's no CV here. Okay, that's a big mistake, because that's +2. Whereas these guys have opened 1, 2 CVs as well, and there's no CV here. So that's a shame, because, you know, whoever got Bravo first would have got that juicy extra +2. Fair enough. So we'll cast the game, and we'll do it from this perspective. So I'd like to take the time to thank you for watching the video. If you want to help out the channel, one way you can do that is you can become a generous channel joiner. You get your name on the screen. You get the videos early, you get exclusive videos, and basically they're bankrolling the channel. It means that I can cast games between less known players, because I don't have to worry about views, because the majority of my income, about 2/3, comes from the channel memberships. So, you know, I don't have to just do things for views. You see a lot of the content creators, they don't want to cast games from less known players because they get viewed less. Another way you can help out if you don't want to give money, and yeah, please do prioritize your own needs first. I don't want to take money from, you know, starving people. Okay, so the SU-25 gets routed there, which is a shame for red, but they do get that F-16, so favourable trade is you can just like the videos, and you can just leave a comment. It takes 5 seconds, and it makes YouTube recommend the videos to more people, which in this time where I'm casting all these games is really useful, and we've got proof that it works. So thank you. So it looks like red have managed to hold back the knight, but Gneckes here forgot to load his CV back up, and they still haven't bought one for over here. So blue have got a huge point lead, blue have got a point lead, which means that red have to push for the rest of the game. So it really just comes down to that CV mentality. Like, Christmas Island Propaganda here needs to load this back up and take this as well, like they've not taken that. But yeah, I'm not sure what Gneckes is doing here. Okay. But, you know, why not do 2 things at once? They're both his CVs. Growhold's going to cap Bravo now, so actually that's going to put red on a lead, because they're going to have Bravo and their enemies aren't going to have Golf. But we'll see how many points they can get. Over here, the Gepards are being used against the infantry, which is really interesting. And this is in a really dumb spot. It needs to be behind a building. The T-62s are just getting shot on the road. This is a really good road spot. And over here, not much happening. So I would expect to see the BMP-2s doing some killing, you know, being used to shoot people. But they got to watch out for these Milans that keep shooting him. He's going for him. Oof. Gets out of range there. So, +2, +4 for Gneckes and Growhold, because the Echo hasn't been capped either. So we'll see if they can deal with that point lead, and then Blue's got to attack. So you'd expect to start seeing grads at some point, like one grad. You don't buy them all at once, that's a big mistake. But to be honest, I agree with not buying a grad right now, because Red is pretty thin on the front lines. They need to secure the front lines, get some infantry in there. And this Razvedka BMP BTR-60 actually routes that looks. I think it was already wounded, but that Milan 2 is definitely going to get this guy now. Okay. He's just stuck on a lining, I think, and is now going for this BMP-2 here, which he usually wouldn't be able to see, but I guess it's just on the edge. Harrier's coming in from Salami. That one didn't drop and then died. That one did drop and then lived, and this Mulder probably not going to make it. There's a lot of AA there. Down he goes. So the Cubs should really be closer, and there should really be 2 of them. You don't want to be buying Tunguskas. You want to be buying Cubs. Cubs and Iglas. Over here, Christmas Island Propaganda has realised that there's nobody here, and so he's just going to walk in. And Red are still at a point disadvantage. Red are trying to attack here, but they're not really using their fire support, because they just keep getting hit by Milan 2, so a lot of the BMP-2s are dead. Like, this could be moved forwards. There's not much there, but you have to go forwards to find out. SU-25 loiters too long, and this IHawk, the transport has been sold. So, and it's fired lots of times now. As is all this, which isn't moving. So you can just mark it and then buy some artillery and kill it. But Red having a really tough time here. It doesn't help that they keep like running their guys into the enemy. So yeah, I agree with this. Although I don't agree with that. It should be back here really. Who knows if it'll ever get there. It does have Kokons, so it should kill the Scorpions. The rockets aren't very good. And once again, you got this problem where he's just going to run it in and lose it to an AT. So that's a big shame. You want to keep, because these aren't cheap. Those transport units are not cheap. So you want to keep them alive so that they can do their role as fire support. Pretty effective fire support. Growhold here, just rinsing people with the T80. But he has to watch out for the ATGMs because he's not got any recon here, so he definitely can't see them. I've just heard an Mi-24 rocket get hit, and then it just starts spinning around in circles. Yep, okay. There's some real gameplay here. But I'm not sure why he wants to send it back forwards again. I'd just send it to the fob for repair. Great play from Christmas Island Propaganda, getting around on the right here, cutting the reinforcements. Means that this can't really be reinforced. One tube, very useful. Start hitting these positions. Salami just holding. It's kind of weird that they put the first UK player in the corner and the second player out in the open. But first UK is just weaker in every way than second Panzer. So I can sort of understand it. And this is just flying straight back into that javelin again and dying. Para leader playing quite aggressively. The warrior repliques are moving, so they're not firing their ATGMs. This man should probably unload there. Okay. It's very risky. Ooh, that is a sideline. So the tank is reloading. Okay, so he just gets it in there. But like, for what purpose? Why not come over this way where you know it's safe? He does have a law, so once he gets there, I think he can shoot this. No, he can't. So he needs to hide behind the house. But instead he's buying a tornado cluster. Which can do the job, but he's going to expose himself to all that AA again. Whereas if he just hid himself behind the house, you know, it would have been okay. But that's one way to solve the problem, but it cost him 320. +2 for blue. It's going to be +4 in a second. Red are just not having a good time here. Growhold keeps attacking here, but he really needs to help Gneckes out on this side. Instead of attacking here, they need to stabilise the front line, then they can start buying the grads. He's bought a grad, I've not seen it fire yet. which is a shame. And Gneckes not bringing those big mega squads, which is 56Y is sort of known for. Here we go. Grad's going in on that leader. It's a really good spot, actually. Yeah. Like, it's just these 7-man teams he keeps sending because he wants to buy fire support, but then he just drives the fire support in and loses it, so it's not fantastic. Like, it's just going to go down here. And yeah, you see the power of the AVRE. If that was a, you know, warrior applique, which is cheaper and better in every way, it would be able to shoot this, but it's not, so it can't do anything. And usually, you know, First UK has sort of got some of the weakest infantry in the game, but, or at least for NATO it does. But because Gneckes is not really using the infantry that are good, for those big orc squads, the 14-man squads, he's just, he's not really getting much done. So that does drop, and it will kill that. And it will get out, because the Cub was out of rounds, so it didn't get a second shot off there. It's buying these SU-25s. Surprise, ChrPropaganda hasn't moved in here, bought a CV for this maybe, but I guess all his points are going over here. Salami content to just defend, although he did lose his CV to that grad strike, it seems. You know, if you've got quite a bit of infantry, right, what you want to do is leave them in the transports back here. Spread out behind stuff, leave them in the transports. If you're really paranoid, you can not sell the transports and take them out of the transports and just leave the transports right next to them. Then you can just drag box, right click one transport, they'll all get back in. Because if you stack the area like this, you're just losing guys to artillery. And, you know, this is... So in World War I, that's what they did. They lost a bunch of guys in trenches to artillery, and then they realised, well, okay, so why don't we build multiple lines of artillery, multiple lines of trenches. They probably did also have multiple lines of artillery. And they built multiple lines of trenches, and, you know, a lot of the guys would be in the back trench, and there'd be very few people in the front trench, because the front trench is the one that's constantly being hit by artillery. So, and when there was an attack, oh, they're attacking us, then they would rush into the front trench, and if the front trench goes down, no big deal, you got a second trench, right? But it's just, you know, this game isn't particularly realistic, but there are some learnings you can take from real life, and one of them is don't put a bunch of infantry in the same spot, because it's all going to get hit by the same artillery. So, Growhold trying to attack here, but it's a bit half, you know, he's just sort of YOLOing towards a bunch of Milans and dying with a single unit. So, it's not going too well. Like, what is he doing? He's not paying attention. Wow, he's getting pretty lucky here. That luck will run out eventually. Yeah, so Christmas Island, he's got in here. And this ain't going anywhere. At least he unloaded it. Now Salami's attacking, and it looks like Red have just collapsed. To tell you the truth, looks like a Red collapse. So we're going to do a little bit of speeding up here. There's only a couple of minutes left, it seems. I do not watch these games beforehand. And yeah, so the Grad, so, you know, it's doing something, but it's, you know, the blue is winning in every lane, basically. So Christmas Island, he's finally sent the CV over there. That Paras did go down, so Red did manage to secure this, but now they're just going to lose this zone. And it's looking pretty hopeless to me. Tornado going for the helicopter. And yeah, I think 2 Cubs would have been a good investment. Not sure how much this Tunguska did, if anything. Because this one-shots Harriers, if it hits them. It only has... There you go. But yeah, +6 now for blue. They take India. Gneckes is now flanked on both sides. Growhold's been pushed back. They managed to get in here. Sort of bullying that no-vet Challenger, which is, I don't agree with. For starters, you shouldn't even be bringing the Challenger Mark II. You should be bringing the Chieftains and the Challenger Mark III, and they should all be at 1 vet minimum. The Chieftains, you bring at 2 vet. If you want to bring a Challenger Mark II, make sure it's the command tank. So, Rover CV getting in here. And, yeah, +10 now for blue. Grads, you know, they're doing something. but it's just too late. With 40 seconds left. So please do let me know what you think. I hope you, like, so you might think I only want to watch close games. If a game is a stomp, or it falls apart very quickly, then I don't want to watch it. But you learn a lot from these games. You learn, okay, so if I do that opener, I'm going to lose. You know? Stuff like that. So, credit to WTF as a Kilometre, with their 6 ranked games between them. And these guys, it just comes up with my profile, very frustrating. So, you know, two fairly inexperienced teams. And, you know, don't feel like you gotta be pro to enter these tournaments. This was a decent game between these two relatively evenly matched teams. So do please let me know what you think. And do please leave a comment. You see the grad didn't actually get that many kills, but it's mainly about the suppression. And I think blue bought a bit too much air and no seed, which was a bit odd. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and GG.